Welcome back, one and all. It's time to cruise away again here on Gecko. We do it 3 times a day, actually. 10 o'clock in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. We're Derek and Joe, and we're ready to guide you through some unforgettable cruise and stay opportunities with Princess Cruises and show you some incredible value along the way as well.
That's right. Princess know how to look after you and offer you and yours the most incredible range of dining, facilities and experiences while you're on board. So let's show you. Later we'll take you on a grand voyage on the Grand Princess from Sydney to Waikiki over 20 nights and top it off with a stay in Honolulu for 2026. Now we're also heading to Vancouver in Canada from Sydney on a 30-night cruise for April in 2026 on the Discovery Princess with a stay in Alaska's Gateway.
And it's low deposits all the way in this show as we lock in great prices now for trips in 2026. So let's start with our first Princess Cruise around our own shores, and it's for March for 19 nights. Now we'll fly you first from Sydney to Perth for a 2-night hotel stay there. So from east to west.
Yeah, lovely. And really nice amount of time to explore Perth, especially if you've never been over there. You have the Swan River, of course. You can take a nice cruise of the Swan River. You also have the Yanchep National Park and Aboriginal Interaction Centre, which is very interesting. A lot of people head over to Rottnest Island to see the quokkas and get that quokka selfie. Of course, they have that grin. You've got to try and get a selfie with them. The Western Australian Maritime Museum, of course, and Fremantle Prison are also great points of interest alongside those stunning beaches, let's not forget. Then it's time to cruise, and we are on board the Crown Princess for 17 nights. Lovely amount of time to enjoy everything Princess has to offer, absolutely. You know, you have a really impressive European-style plaza in the middle of the ship, which is a hub of activity, actually. Princess really pride themselves on creating this really exciting ambience in the center of the ship and making, you know, that the focal point. You might have street performers there, boutiques, the spiral staircase, of course, and glass-walled lifts provide panoramic views. So a really lovely place to take those selfies. You have got, of course, amazing bars and restaurants. In fact, Best Wine Bars at Sea is voted by USA Today, Best Burger at Sea by Cruise Critic, award-winning food by Michelin star chefs, Best Pizza at Sea. I mean, the awards that Princess have won in the cruise industry, Derek, are insane.
They are brilliant. They are so good. In fact, a friend of mine has just been down the Californian coast of the States on Crown Princess, and I've seen the pictures. Ooh. And she looks pretty sparkling, let me tell you. One thing I do want to point out is something brand new to Princess, which are their amazing premium desserts. We'll talk later about how you can go all-inclusive and have those as part of the deal. But, you know, everybody can get them. And they are extra luxury, great big ice cream sundae wonders.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice. It's proving so popular on Princess. Do you know what? I'll take one of those up to the top deck when it's time for movies under the stars.
Yes. Lounging in the freshwater pools and hot tubs perhaps as well. This is the just to show you an overview of the incredible staterooms on Princess as well. Whether you have a balcony or ocean view or interior, you will be assured incredible decor and, you know, really comfortable stateroom. Then, you know, theatre time, Broadway caliber shows, they're always winning awards for their shows as well. And you have got all the specialty acts and game shows and fun things that will keep you entertained on board as well. And, you know, and ways that you can become involved in the show, like The Voice at Sea. They also have their cruise shows on board where you might get to see crew performing, you know, traditional dances and songs from their part of the world, because you are looking at 90 plus nationalities on board at any one time, which is so interesting. Then we are cruising, of course, and we're heading to Exmouth first with the rugged and stunningly beautiful Northwest Cape landscape. You've got the Ningaloo Reef, and you can take a you know, excursion there, snorkeling. Turtle Bay as well. You will see some beautiful marine life here, no doubt. Then we're on to Broome, where you can take a couple of tours I recommend here, by the way, include the Willie Creek Pearl Farm. Of course, it's known for its pearl farming, and the local connections, which is the kaleidoscope of Broome. So do speak to the Princess Shore Excursions team for that. Then we're on into Darwin, and here's a little fact for you. Locals in the top end consume over 60 gallons of beer a year. And they do the beer can regatta every year, which is a race with boats, rafts and vessels made out of beer cans.
Brilliant.
So it's very cool, right? Port Douglas is next, of course, located between the tropics and the Great Barrier Reef, a gateway to hardy adventures through the rainforest canopy. You also have the Daintree rainforest there at your fingertips, the Skyrail rainforest cableway. It's Willis Island next for the beautiful Whitsundays, and you might be lucky enough to spot some masked brown and red-footed boobies, and it's also a nesting ground for turtles, of course they're the birds, and penguins. Then we're on to Brisbane, and you know, everybody loves Brisbane. What a city. Of course, you are close to the Gold Coast there, so you might want to head to these stunning beaches or indeed visit the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary. We're cruising into Sydney, where you'll disembark after this fabulous adventure where you will have incredible scenic cruising along the way of the Kimberley Coast, which they say is the last natural, unspoilt frontier, and the Yampi Sound, of course, while you're there. So what an itinerary.
Amazing. It's good, isn't it? I mean, we say this so often and we forget, don't we, sometimes to investigate what is just around the corner from us, you know, our own shores. And this is a brilliant Northern Explorer cruise. Princess Cruises, you know, we saw on board the ship and everything there is to do as well. So that 17 nights is going to be absolutely fantastic and fun-filled as well. Plus the days as well. Even when you're scenic cruising, there's so much to do on the ship. You must remind yourself to actually take in the scenery as well, because there is so much going on. So included the flight from Sydney over to Perth, 2 nights in a hotel there, and then your epic cruise starting, of course, in Fremantle and finishing in Sydney. Deposits today of just $100 each, and your price tag for this one is so good. You should take advantage, because this is going to be your 19 nights of sheer indulgence. You know, you don't need to do anything. You just need to have it taken care of for you. And we have made all the travel arrangements for you to make it just so easy. And with this one, of course, you just step off in Sydney and that's it. Job done. Here is the upgrade prices as well. If you want to upgrade in terms of your stateroom there for that fabulous cruise, really nice one as well. 17 nights of cruise. Brilliant there to go ocean view, balcony or suite. And we mentioned earlier a way of making this all-inclusive. So normally when you take a cruise, it's full board, so your dining is included and some soft drinks are included. But when it comes to alcohol, obviously day by day that goes onto the account. But there is a way of circumventing that with something called Princess Plus. And Princess Plus is brilliant. Now, for less than the price of some cruise companies' drinks packages per day, $65 a day, you could have Princess Plus, which is drinks, unlimited drinks, up to $22 each, which is brilliant. Unlimited Wi-Fi for a device, unlimited juice bar, premium desserts that we talked about earlier, 2 of those a day. It's not a challenge, by the way. Fitness classes, 2 casual dining meals, so venues that you would normally pay for, you're not paying for as part of your Princess Plus. Ocean Now delivery that can deliver food and drink to wherever you are on the ship if you use the app and your medallion that you carry around, and also room service delivery included right the way through your cruise if you decide to take Princess Plus. It's $65 per person per day. It means that you can do all the budgeting up front rather than thinking, okay, how much might the account be at the end of the cruise. There's an upgrade to that as well, including specialty dining, more Wi-Fi, higher value drinks, etc. in Princess Premier. And if you want to talk to our team about either of those for any of your Princess cruises that you're booking, all you need to do is just pick up the phone and call us 1300 408 764. Also, whenever we have a stay somewhere on one of our offers, so that one for instance started with a couple of nights in Perth, if you wanted longer, then just talk to the team and we'll tailor it for you without a booking fee, which is superb. We are good.
We are good, aren't we? We're the best at what we do.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why you book with us. Don't forget, you're locking in some amazing prices now for your cruise adventures in 2026. And there are many more on the website at cruiseaway.com.au. Next up, we're heading to Canada from Sydney via New Zealand, the South Pacific, Hawaii and the States. Now, it starts on the 7th of April in 2026 by meeting Discovery Princess in Sydney for your 30-night cruise. Brilliant. Well, you get to go all that way from your own doorstep, which is fantastic. Now, the Discovery is one of the newest, freshest, most vibrant vessels at sea. She was launched only in 2022, and you have got some lovely new spaces on board the ship. Once again, like I mentioned with Princess, their piazza is really the focal point of the entire ship, where they, run everything, which is nice because a lot of ships you don't really have much happening in the atrium, weirdly enough. But with Princess, they make it a firm feature. Now, you do have some really nice parties happening on deck throughout your cruise, top deck parties they call them, dancing under the stars. You have themed events like White Hot Party, you might have Caribbean night, for example, Brazilian night, you have the Chocoholics buffet where they have like a chocolate fountain, everything is made of chocolate, it's very cool. And of course you get to see, when they do these buffets, you get to see the incredible skill of some of the carvers on board who do ice sculptures and fruit sculptures. You actually have to go to a specialized culinary school to actually learn how to do that, and they're so skilled, really. It blows my mind every time I see it. And that's just part and parcel of the service on Princess. The towel animals that you might get in your stateroom. By the way, you can learn how to do them. They do a class on how to do the towel animals and how to do napkin folding, which might sound a little bit to you and I, really? But actually, when you leave the cruise knowing how to do those fancy things, it's going to impress your friends at dinner parties.
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it's a good thing to do, isn't it? That's what these holidays are about. They're about giving you experiences that you wouldn't expect on a regular holiday. If you book a flight to somewhere and stay in a hotel somewhere, all of these kind of impromptu things, they're not going to happen. But on a cruise, the entertainment, yes, is of an evening, is a show to go and watch. But when you say entertainment on a cruise ship, it means far more than sitting in a row at a theatre and watching a show.
Yeah.
There's different theatre going on right the way through. Even the towel animals that are there on your bed, they're part of the entertainment of your cruise.
They
the
are,
little
yes.
things that just make you smile. And that's what makes cruising such a great family, couples, multi-generational groups. It makes such an easy holiday because there's something there for everyone.
The beauty's all in the details on a cruise, absolutely. Now, we are cruising out of Sydney, heading to Tauranga in New Zealand. The gateway to Rotorua, of course, the geothermal wonderland, that is the heart of the Maori culture. So do take a tour to Rotorua. It's unbelievable. The wonderland is the place to visit there. Auckland's up next, of course. It is the cosmopolitan, city at the heart of New Zealand, and it's the former capital. You can actually do a tour there to the Devonport Village and North Shore, which I would recommend, and speak to your Princess team about that. Bay of Islands is up next. A tour recommendation here would be the Kerry Kerry Maori Meeting House and Kauri Forest, which is a favourite amidst Princess cruises. Also, the Waitangi Treaty Ground is not too far away. Then we're on to Tahiti in French Polynesia, where you can do the Museum of Tahiti right there. Point Venus has some beautiful, views over this incredible paradise. And then we are on to Moorea in French Polynesia, where you can do dolphin watching. I'd recommend doing that. If you love to be out on the water, they have amazing snorkeling, as you'd imagine. I mean, just look at that ocean. And the jungle there too is lush and rich and stunning. Then we are on to Honolulu. We are in Hawaii. Fantastic. The most famous island in Hawaii, Oahu, of course. Whether you're heading up to Diamond Head Crater for sweeping views over Oahu, or just chilling on Waikiki Beach, you'll be sure to love it and want to come back. We're into Los Angeles next, and this is where you can visit all of the famous haunts, of course, from the movies. You might want to head to Anaheim to go to Disneyland while you're there. You can do it in a day for sure, and they have shore excursions taking you there too. Victoria, Canada is up next, which does exude old world charm. Lovely flowers everywhere. You're going to be there in April, springtime as well. Whale watching tour. They're known for their whale watching. Of course, we're in that transient time when the whales are crossing as well, and the Craig Dock Castle. Now we're going to disembark in Vancouver. You have a 2-night hotel stay to enjoy the best of British Columbia. Oh, I love it. And they kind of call this Sydney of Canada, like Sydney, Australia of Canada, because you might find some similarities, but in its own sense, it is completely unique. You've got the forests. You can head up to Grouse Mountain to see the bear sanctuary and cable car up there. You might want to be out in the water whale watching as well, or heading to Vancouver Island. They're real foodies in Vancouver too, so you can enjoy some of the great food markets whilst you're there, and Granville Island is a place to go for that. But it's just an incredible city, Vancouver. Love it. Then we're flying you back to Sydney, Australia after your incredible adventure, which takes you from, of course, Sydney over through New Zealand. We're off to French Polynesia and then Hawaii, calling into Los Angeles, then finishing up in amazing Canada. Couldn't think of a better itinerary for giving you a variety, a taste of different parts of the world than this.
And note the number of sea days in this itinerary as well. Now that's a definite plus, because you do want time to have a holiday, to relax, to lounge. You're not missing out on a port. Everyone is at sea, and that's where you can really switch off, or you can really switch on. There are some really high octane physical activities you can be doing if you want to. But if the most you can manage on a sea day is lifting a glass from there to there, that's fine. That's fine. No one's there expecting any more of you. Just enjoy it. Get a good book, just enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the views, enjoy the company around you, meeting new people as well. What I can offer you right now is unbelievable value, and this is for 2026, remember. So deposits today of just $100 each will lock in the deal that we've got for you. And remember, that's the 30-night cruise from Sydney on Discovery Princess via New Zealand, the South Pacific, Hawaii, LA, all the way through to Vancouver in Canada. And then you've got a 2-night hotel stay there and the flight back to Sydney. $100 each today locks in this price tag here, and it is good. Honestly, when you do all the numbers, when you crunch all the numbers, if you were sat trying to make arrangements to go to all of these different places, that'd be a lot of flights, wouldn't it? A heck of a lot of flights and a lot of traveling, and a heck of a lot longer than 32 nights, and a lot more expensive than this price here, which you can lock in right now by calling us or going onto cruiseaway.com.au. Pop that cruise reference in right now, and for just $100 each, you can lock in that deal. Let's look at upgrades then. 2 ways to upgrade, of course. Upgrading in terms of your accommodation, so your stateroom. So going from interior to balcony up to suite on that. There are your price tags. And of course, if you want to make this all inclusive, we talked about it earlier, it applies to this deal as well. If you want to add Princess Plus, it's such a great way of kind of budgeting in advance for drinks on board. Drinks up to $22 each value, which is brilliant. Unlimited Wi-Fi for a device, unlimited juice bar, premium desserts included, fitness classes included, casual dining meals that normally you would pay a supplement for included, Ocean Now delivery, having food and drink delivered to the very spot you are on the ship, wherever you are on the ship, that's included, and room service. Rather than having a charge going onto your account when room service is delivered, it's part of Princess Plus for just $65 per person per day, making savings, as you see there, of 60% versus buying all of those things individually. It's such a good deal, and there's an enhanced upgrade on Princess Plus as well called Princess Premier, with even more perks and bonuses as well for $95 per person per day. If you want to know more about that, all the details are on our website, of course, cruiseaway.com.au, and you can talk to the team now, 1300 408 764, if you have any questions whatsoever. And just one more thing very, very quickly, any of these offers as well, you can take advantage of Travel Pay Later, which is a brilliant way of being able to say, okay, well, that's the number of my holiday, but that's a lot to take on right now. How about breaking the cost down of that into 6 payments or 12 payments, interest-free, easy to apply and sign up just talk to the team. You can do it on any one of our offers, 1300 408 764, which is a relief because I can still have those big adventures.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, booking ahead of time as well, you know, that allows you to budget even easier.
Yeah.
So again, we can help you with that, can't we?
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, like we haven't seen enough of the world on the show already. How about getting this one in the diary? It's a Grand Sydney to Waikiki cruise on the Grand Princess for the 8th of April in 2026. Let's get on board Grand Princess and see your home for 20 incredible nights. Now, it's very near my birthday in 2026. I wouldn't mind
timing.
this. I know. Sydney to Honolulu. Thank you very much.
And you've not been on the Grand yet,
I haven't been on the Grand, and I would love to go on the Grand.
Sounds like a plan.
I've heard nothing but amazing things about this ship, and she's beloved through the Princess fleet, a bit of a legend in her own league as well. Over 25 bars and restaurants on board to enjoy. This is the lovely thing about cruising, and you may, if you haven't cruised before, or if you haven't cruised for a while, you may have in your mind the ideas of cruising 10, 15, 20 years ago when it was just the main dining room.
Yeah,
and that was
one restaurant or a big queue at the buffet and one line going down the buffet, like a wedding.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever had to queue at the buffet on a cruise, Derek, before.
No,
not saying
there's so many different stations.
Yeah,
aren't
but
there?
there's so many different stations, and then you've got the specialty dining as well. For which, if you do the Princess Plus, you have some included, or it's a nominal fee. But there's definitely options to suit everybody, and it's so get rid of that preconception. It's nothing like you think. I promise you. If you haven't cruised in a while,
and
oysters,
also,
lobster.
Well, yeah, and also it's not one long table of 30 people.
No, thank goodness.
You can have a table for two at a restaurant.
Yeah, you absolutely
Amazing.
can. You can have your privacy, and oh boy, you will become friends with the server. I promise you, and your stateroom steward as well. They become like family. They're lovely, really lovely, and they treat you well. So that's part of the whole experience, of course, which is unlike staying in a hotel when you think about it. You don't really get to know those people when you're in a hotel. You do when you're on a cruise, though. It's a much more friendly environment, in my opinion. And then, of course, we have to talk about the luxuries on board, such as indulging perhaps in some spa treatments whilst you're there. You could have a full body seaweed wrap. You could have inothermy. They do tweakments. You could have your hair done. I mean, coloured everything. They have a barber on board. Then, you know, massages. So really, you could just take your pick from an array of amazing treatments while you're there.
Come back a new person.
A new person feeling refreshed.
You won't recognise yourself.
No, seriously. You'll be so relaxed. It is ridiculous. Of course, though, if you do like to be up and running and doing everything that's going on around the ship, those options are there. We are cruising out of Sydney, and the first port of call we're going to be heading into on your itinerary is beautiful Tauranga, New Zealand. Now, you can go and see where they filmed Lord of the Rings on the Hobbiton tour. That's a very popular one. Or maybe go to the Maori village if you like to see sort of, again, the traditional influence of these islands. Auckland is up next, and it sits on a volcano vault. There's only over 60 volcanoes within proximity, so it's very geothermal New Zealand. But you might want to head to the top of the tower and see amazing views and grab a spot of lunch while you're there as well. It rotates. Very cool. Bay of Islands is up next, which has its own microclimate. So you get that kind of tropical vibe. You have beautiful waterfalls, lush forests to enjoy. And you can also see the way that, again, the traditional Maoris live in the Rewas village. Pago Pago in American Samoa is next on the itinerary for, I think, some of the best marine life you will ever see. If you do like to snorkel or even just enjoy, you know, glass bottom kayaking, glass bottom boat tour, all of those things are on offer. Tahiti. Now, when we think of paradise, this is pretty much what we think of, isn't it? Tahiti. And it does not disappoint. Whether you're up at One Tree Hill looking at the views, or whether you're just enjoying the beautiful ocean and beaches, you'll have stories for sure. Moorea's next on your itinerary. You can go ray feeding, you can head to the Tiki Village, and the locals are very welcoming. They do like to show their traditional dances. They like to show how they live, and you can do a home visit as an excursion whilst you're there, you know, to become accustomed with the locals. Then we're in Honolulu, and this is where you'll disembark and have a 2-night hotel stay in fabulous Hawaii. Now, of course, this is the stopping off point for other islands, which you could easily do a tour while you're there. But you know, Oahu in itself has so much to offer. That's Hanauma Bay. It is spectacular. Some of the best snorkeling, I think, on earth. You then have, of course, downtown. You have wonderful shopping because you are in America at the end of the day. So they do great outlet shopping, really good food as well. And then you have, you've got Pearl Harbor. You've got to go and see Pearl Harbor when you're there. That's iconic, of course. But you're going to love, love, love Oahu. You won't want to leave, that's for sure. Maybe speak to the team if you do want to stay a little bit longer, but we will fly you back to Sydney, Australia after this brilliant itinerary, of course, taking in New Zealand, then you're heading on to American Samoa, French Polynesia, and finishing off in stunning Hawaii.
See, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe you could add a couple of nights in Hawaii, and while you're over that part of the world, maybe quick hop over to LA for a couple of nights, maybe. Lots of ideas. That's the great thing about travel, is that if you've got, these are packages that we put together because the value for money that we can stitch together is amazing. But if you want to play with it and tailor it, we'll still book it for you. We'll make it work for you, whatever you want to do. That's the great thing about travel. It's still so exciting. We had so long when we couldn't do it, and now we're really kicking back into gear and making some true plans. And this is the ultimate in relaxation. It feels like a real, true holiday with a fascinating itinerary. You join the Grand Princess in Sydney for 20 nights of cruising through New Zealand, the South Pacific, and on to Honolulu. Cruise ends there, but of course the holiday continues with a 2-night stay there in a hotel before the flight back to Sydney. Now you can lock in our great price today, which of course looks forward to April of 2026, but deposits today just $400 each, and the price for the whole holiday package is amazing. Look at that, $4,499 per person, which of course you can break down to 6 or 12 payments with Travel Pay Later if you wanted to as well, but that, you've got to agree, is an amazing price. And by the time, if we were showing you this in a year's time, that price might be $1,000 or $2,000 higher because the price of everything moves. In travel, prices move so quickly. Sometimes too many people can be looking at an offer and it jumps up in price. We're locking in this price today with our deposits to just $400 each and guaranteeing that that's the price you're paying, which is amazing. Let's look at upgrades quickly then. If you want to upgrade your stateroom, of course, you've got your prices there. If you want to make it all inclusive, we've got Princess Plus, of course, that we've talked about through the show. $65 per person per day gets you drinks and Wi-Fi and desserts and fitness classes and so many other perks and bonuses as well. If you want more details of any of those, of course, you can speak to our team on 1300 408 764. And Princess Plus, to make all inclusive, by the way, you can add to any of the Princess offers you book with us here at CruiseAway, and it is such amazing value for money. I mean, some drinks packages on cruises are more than $65 per day on their own, just drinks, where Princess Plus includes so much more. We love it as an upgrade. It's one of the most generous bundled upgrade packages there are in the cruise industry, I have to say. We're a big fan, aren't we, Jo?
It's brilliant. Yeah, packed in value beyond compare when you do that. You've got to do it. Lots of food for thought when it comes to booking ahead of the obvious price hikes in the world of travel, getting locked in for 2026. Just makes sense, doesn't it, in today's modern age?
Well, it makes sense, but the only problem is I want to do them all.
I know.
That's the only issue, isn't it, really? But there you go. Anyway, we'll leave that with you. Don't forget to come and follow us on Facebook, CruiseAway. Nearly 50,000 of you are there already. And don't forget to come back here to Gecko every day, 10 in the morning and 1 and 4 in the afternoon. And we will be here with some more big adventures for the next CruiseAway show. See you later.
See you soon.